It is 13 hours 12 in Guyana and right across the Eastern Caribbean. It is time for us to enter Wake Up Guyana with senior journalist Leonard Gildarie for today, Friday, September 4th, 2020. Leonard, a pleasant good afternoon to you.
Afternoon to all Guyana, wherever you're joining us from across this beautiful land of ours, whether it's Barbies, whether it's Demerara, whether it's Jessica, we want to say good day. And of course, to our many viewers who would be joining us from across the waters, our Atlantic Ocean, wherever you are, whether you're in Trinidad, whether you're in Suriname, French Guyana, across the Caribbean and in North America, US, Canada, Europe. A good day to you guys. It is the end of the week, it's September the 4th. And there's a couple of things that you should be knowing today. Like, for example, the bridge, the Demerara Harbour Bridge, is a major issue there right now. I must tell you that according to Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgel, saying it's a 4-year problem that should never have been. So as of now, there's emergency repairs to the harbour bridges happening. Must tell you about that because that is going to impact thousands of persons. They have stopped all ocean going or incoming vessels. That's because the bridge cannot retract at this point in time for any vessels. It also cannot accommodate on the actual structure itself any heavy vehicles. That's because there needs to be some repairs, some changes of parts urgent because of the state of the Demerara Harbour Bridge at the moment. The minister was very mad about it this morning, stating that since in 2016 there was the authorities, the government of the day was alerted to the conditions of this bridge and they did absolutely nothing. He said that in a statement to a public statement this morning. And so the bridge as of now is undergoing emergency repairs. You can cross the bridge, bicycles, small vehicles, and so on. Definitely not any heavy vehicles. So it is September the 4th. It is Friday, and we're heading into the weekend. And there are many things I should be telling you about. Like, for example, in addition to the bridge, there is that very big issue with COVID-19. We've gone past the 1400 mark at the moment, and so I am going to be bringing you some details as we have that, because as of yesterday we had 44 deaths. So we believe it's 45, but they're waiting the test on that. But the numbers are climbing. In the meantime, it's 19 new cases. We have almost about 1,000 cases in backlog. Persons who would have been tested and did not receive their results as yet. That's because they have one testing machine, COVID testing machine called the PCR machine that they have in stock, and that's what's been used. And a couple of staffers are working long shift to bring those numbers down. So what do you have right now? I would have had to wait more than 2 Wednesdays before I got it. I only got mine on Monday, and so that would tell you how much of a backlog that I have. It's more than 1,000. We were forced as a country to send about more than 500 tests overseas to CARPA. I think it is that's a regional body that has those kind of machines available, and we're hoping to get it before the end of the week, according to Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony. And so, in the meantime, these numbers are not looking so very good. I can tell you that we had over 9,040 cases, tests conducted with 19 new cases recorded as of yesterday. 67 persons remain in institutional isolation with 98 in institutional quarantine. There's 805 recoveries and 44 deaths. So this would come even as news as the Diamond Hospital. You would understand that, or you would have heard that they are heading into is some urgent repairs there, and that would have been a place where there were several persons who would have been held in isolation there. The persons are going to remain in isolation. That's because there's very little space elsewhere, other than they've started moving people across to the infectious diseases hospital there on the East Coast, what was formerly known as the Ocean View Hotel. Persons are being moved there, but we fast running out of bed, and we've gone past that 1,400 mark in terms of the number of cases. As we speak right now, I think more than 5 policemen or police ranks from Region 1 would have tested positive. So the madness is continuing. People, they're all around the place in very cavalier attitude, and the numbers are going up, 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 and we seem not to be getting a handle on it. That's because our people need to get their act together. And I'm not saying that those persons who go to work and have been become infected. I'm talking about the persons who are decided that every afternoon to go take a drink here or there, or to not have on a mask. These are the things that is going to allow this country to remain closed, for us to remain in the financial doldrums for the longest while, because we really need to be disciplined with this entire thing. So let us get that straight. The numbers are rising, more than 1,400 cases as we speak. And we have more than 44, it's going on to 45 deaths. I would not be surprised. I think there was a suspected death with a senior medical official early this week here, very well known, very well loved. It's not coming out, nobody's confirming, but there's a suspected that he died from that, and very well known guy in the pediatrician world. And so, if doctors are dying, imagine yourself who may have underlying conditions. I was told after more than 2 Wednesdays ago that I tested after going after a couple of my staffers said that they were going to go tested. I went and get tested too, and two of our staffers would have tested positive. And my test came back on Monday, and you would know by now that I tested positive. I am on a lockdown at home here right now, and as promised, I would be bringing you up to date as to what exactly is happening to me. Um, you're losing energy when you're positive. I mean, not everybody would be similarly affected. You may have it, not know that you have it, not find any signs or any symptoms, and you go about your life normally, but then you might be able to pass it on to somebody else. And that is a worrisome thing. According to the authorities, there are thousands, there are several persons, maybe hundreds, who may be walking around not knowing that they have it, and other people won't know either. So you're there and you're talking to them, and you may have underlying condition, diabetes, etc., etc. I was called, I think about 2 days back, by somebody that I know very well, a family member, a distant relative, and they're saying that this lady died. And let me tell you some of the complications, some of the weird stories that's coming out of this. This lady died, and she's a diabetic. She went to the hospital to get looked after. She went to the hospital. A couple of days after she took in, by the time they rushed her, she died. The family, they were a little worried, and this is weird. Again, the family was a little worried that her body was taking long. They couldn't continue to keep wake. That's what they said to me. They couldn't continue to keep those wake there, and so they said, when can the body be released? Well, the backlog is what is thinking. When you test somebody, the tests take a long time to come back. This because we don't have the capacity to do it. So in the meantime, we keep in wakes and things like that. If you know somebody or suspected to die, and this is what the authorities are saying, they no more that there should not be any public gathering, especially with wakes and things like that. If you know you come from a house where maybe somebody might have died with it, it is irresponsible of you to keep any wakes or anything. We have to be very, very careful. We have kids, we have family, we have senior citizens who might be very well be vulnerable to something like this. And the senior citizens especially, and those persons with conditions are going to be the one who are going to be directly affected. So let us be very, very careful. Let us be responsible. Every single day I'm sitting here, I've been sitting here for the last 5 months, maybe going on to 6 months. I'm losing count of time. And we've been telling you to be careful. And myself, who has to try to, as much as possible, to do what we have to do, or we frontline workers. So we have to interact and deal with people, and you may take all the precautions in the world. Fortunately for me, I think I'm reasonably healthy. I've been using my medications and so on, my vitamin C. It's a practice. As you get on in age, you would want to take those things. Um, the reality is that I've gotten it, and if I could get it, anybody could get it. And let's assume, like I said recently, assume that everybody has it, and you're the only one that don't have it. What is it that you need to do? There's no need for you to be at any restaurant or hiding out and going into a place and hopefully that somebody doesn't have it there. The minute that you're in the crowd, you have just dramatically increased your risk of catching it. And then you go home and you have your beautiful wife or your husband there, and your kids, the staying with you, innocent, all innocent eyes, and you're giving it to them because you have been irresponsible. You're walking on the road, please wear your mask. If you don't have a mask, tear an old shirt or something and wrap it around your face. Take some alcohol, douse it, and you go about your business. You need to wear something. You need to put something on. It reduces the risk. Might not stop it altogether, but it's going to reduce the risk. So let's reduce the risk. Let's do what we have to do as responsible people of Guyana. So in the meantime, while that is happening, I would want to open up, go straight into our Kaieteur news today, because as every single day, we will continue to read our newspapers to make sure that we keep you informed as the people of Guyana what is happening, what is important, what is it that you need to know. And so, as always, Kaieteur News has been very interesting. They have taken news to a different level. It's not all about murders, or it's not all about robberies. It's about the bread and butter that you would have, how you earn your money, how your money is being spent. These are important things to you, the people of Guyana. So that is what I want to say to you. So a good day to you guys, wherever you join us. It's time to wake up Guyana. It's Wake Up Guyana 99.1, 99.5 FM right across this country of ours. And we're joining you also on YouTube, Kaieteur Radio on YouTube, Kaieteur Radio live stream on Facebook. So we are coming to you there. And let me tell you what the Kaieteur newspaper would be saying to you today. As we speaking also this evening, we have very sad news to tell you. At least it's sad on my part, because after several months, room 592 would be coming to close, and it's all happening this evening in a grand finale, if you want to call it. My co-host, my host of the room 592, who's been with me foot to foot for the last couple of months, has described it as a room, as a grand finale. Room 592 has been so very dear, very close to the people of Guyana. And unfortunately, it has done what it is supposed to do, which is ensuring it brings the news and bring you through a period of time with when people wanted to know the news and want to know what is next, and they were screaming for those news. We have done what we had to do during those period of time, and we will continue to bring you those news. So in the meantime, the Kaieteur newspaper, the front page, it's September the 4th, 2020. If we could only, if only we could get one contract right, and that is a statement that there's a commentary on the front page of the Kaieteur News today. Mr. Lal is very serious about us getting a better deal on this news, this deal with Exxon and other oil deals. So he is going to continue to raise the issue here. At the top of the newspaper, I'm going to read to you what he had to say there, what the commentary had to say, front page comment in a very short while. But these are the other headlines. Controversial NCN Barbies manager Donna Matthew resigns, and there's an interim management to be in place there. So that is for the Barbies. That is for the Barbies story there, the Barbies NCN. Report exposes APNO AFC knew of deadly effects of flaring, but still allowed ExxonMobil to pollute Guyana's air. Very serious story. I'd say why it is serious. When you are, I think I would have gotten cut off here. I'm not sure whether I'm still with you guys. Josh, are we still online? In the meantime, we will continue. I'm going to continue talking. I have absolutely no idea. I'm not in the studio at the moment. My apologies. But what is it that you would like to know from the Kaieteur News today? We're going to come back to that. A report exposes APNO AFC knew of deadly effects of flaring, but still allowed ExxonMobil to pollute Guyana's airspace. This is a serious story because their records is coming out now that although we have our laws, we allow this flaring, which is poison our atmosphere, and yet we still allowed Exxon to continue it. And why would you do that? Why would any government do that to the country, knowing that this big company that is here, that should have some responsibilities? That's why we have agreements. That's why we would have them sign on to these things and have them go through the different permits. When you have permits and you have your regulators not doing the job, this is absolute madness. It means that somebody was not paying attention or somebody was being paid. So let us get that right. If you're not doing your job, you've been given a job to regulate what a company that is coming in here, or any company, whether you're local or overseas, what they've come here to do. And they are very clear as what they're supposed to do. And they have broken the laws by not doing what they're supposed to do. And you're sitting there as the regulator, somebody who's supposed to be monitoring them, overlooking them, and you don't do what you're supposed to be doing as a regulator. What does that say with you? Is either you're sleeping on the job, you're not doing the job, or you're being paid. So somebody lapsed big time on this. Somebody turned a blind eye, and they allowed these people to be poisoned. The atmosphere, these people are burning poisonous gas into the atmosphere. It belongs to us. The entire earth is on the threat here. So we got to be very, very careful about this. Exxon, and there's a story that mirrors that and shows you how much of an impasse this company has done to this country here. And as you sit here, you should become very angry as well, because when you see companies come into your country and believe that we, from the ancient days, you could treat us like slaves, or you could box us around the corner and treat us anyhow. And our regulators, our government of the day allow that, then you have to start thinking seriously about the quality and the caliber of leadership that we have. So Exxon spends 186 million US dollars, not Guyana dollars, 186 million US dollars to fix flaring at a Scottish plant. So the people were complaining there, there's a lot of noise, you're burning, and people, this is in Scotland. You know where Scotland is, right? It's in the United Kingdom. And these people are very serious. When you're there, things with the environment and things with the laws and things like that, you don't ever mess with them. These people have regulators, and the regulators do work, unlike us. And so after the people would have complained, the authorities cracked down, and you know what Exxon did? Hey, we're gonna fix this issue here. We're spending a US, $186 million. Guess what? We would have find the people over there, the Exxon people who were here, who would have had some issues with some oil. 100,000 Guyana dollars, which is not even $500, not even 500 US dollars. But they, with flaring, which was happening to us, if you look at it, how much billions of cubic meters and so on that they would have flared into the atmosphere since last year. And this is because they have a non-functioning or malfunctioning piece of equipment, and sent for it to get fixed. You can't fix 1 year yet. It's almost a year. It's going to be in a couple months. It's going to be a year, and they can't fix it yet. But in the meantime, when the more I'm thinking about this, is the more I think of the word I pass and disrespect. And this company is disrespecting the people of Guyana. But so this headline is very, very important. Exxon spends US 106 million to fix flaring at the Scottish plant, but continues to flout regulations in Guyana. That's what we just spoke about. And this is an interesting story coming from former business minister within the coalition, and he would have resigned after the news came about, or there was a court ruling about dual citizenship. This is Mr. Dominic Gaskin, former business minister, and he is responding to plans to reopen some of the sugar estates by the government, the closed ones except Wales. And this is Stellan, Rosalind, and more. And this is what he had to say. Without proper plan, reopening sugar estates would be throwing money away. So this is an interesting story. A lot of people would have gone after him and says, well, so why didn't you, why didn't you do something of it, or do you have a plan? So there's many persons, it is interesting to see some of the comments that would have come with regards to what he has been saying here. But it's interesting. What is it that we open and what is the plan? Is it that we enter in sugarcane again for to get sugar, or could we use sugarcane to do some other thing? Maybe cane juice or ethanol, something they want to know. Maybe we're going to back sugar in terms of those little packets that you would find in a little hotel that you would go to. So it is something that we are going to have to pay attention to. So there is this story that's also come out. Minister of Human Resources and Social Security, Dr. Vindhya Prasad, free child care assistance for frontline workers, she's saying. So all those workers who in the frontline, like the policemen and the nurses and the doctors, the government is thinking about making the lives a little better, providing, paying a child, a little place that is looking after kids. And they're going to pay these people here daycare. They're going to pay these people here to look after. There's this other interesting story too. Guyana has successfully treated 6 persons with plasma. These are the blood stuff that you would take from persons who would have recovered from COVID, and you treat other people with them, and 6 persons have recovered. So this is groundbreaking. This is good for Guyana. It means that we're getting some things right. And Dr. Mahendra Karkin, a good day to you, sir. You've always been very open, and we've seen our good doctors, seen some very good doctors. Dr. Duki Amina Duki, a couple of nights back, we would have had him. Have some very bright people in this country, and it's always good to talk to them when it comes to the development in our country and us having the capacity to deal with things that we should be dealing with. And so there was the speeding still continues. We've seen a lot of road accidents, motorcyclists, bicycle riders, everybody, cyclists, and so on. They're on the road, and the vehicles are just speeding. So many accidents. I saw this one up the East Coast yesterday. Man was riding on a cycle, and this guy here at Trinidad speeding, reportedly speeding in a pickup, hit this guy from behind on the East Coast Road by the Ocean View, what is now the infectious hospital there. Hit this guy here, lost control, and there's this showcase with Yokohama. Everybody would know that with all the vehicles there. Damaged 2 vehicles here, and then turned turtle. The cyclist died. Somebody lost their husband there. And in Sophia, another one, somebody rode in front of a car. So it's madness on the road. What are we doing? We need to pay attention. Their vehicles. Everybody wants to get somewhere in a hurry, and nobody wants to, take the time and look out for the people that are on the road. There's this other story too. A lady was in a car, and she took a short drop, and then all the passengers robbed her. So you guys be very careful. Be careful when you jumping in that car. This happened across the West Bank, West Coast, and they threw her out of the car after they were finished. After throwing out of the car, she went to the police. The people then rescued her, took her to the police. The police put roadblocks and captured the people who would have done it. And so I'd love to see them in court, because you take away from somebody peace, you traumatize and you rob them. And I understand a woman was in charge of that too. So those are some of the top stories that we would have had today. And it is not very nice. We are going to come back to you in a very short while and tell you a little about what is happening with the Jamaica elections. They would have had the elections there. So guess what? You already know who the winner is, and I believe this is some concessions. And so those are lessons to be learned. We have to look at stories like that and tell our people what it's all about. So a good day to you guys. I think I've spoken enough. I want to come straight back to the people of Guyana today. The people of Guyana must have their voice, and that's what we're doing. This evening, we are going to be joined. I think Yoga, I spoke to Yoga a number of times this morning. Yoga is, of course, saddened that we have to bring it in to the room 592. But we are planning a good show. We are bringing a number of persons on. We're going to talk a little about that. He and I are going to have a conversation tonight, a very serious conversation. And you might want to be there as we say goodbye. We have done our jobs, and maybe we would definitely be working on some other formats that we could bring to you at prime time in the evening, serious discussions on issues. We keep reinventing ourselves. Nothing remains the same all the time. So we are going to continue to bring you those shows as it is. But 7:30, Group 592, Yoga and myself, we're going to have some extra time, maybe about 2 hours or so of the show to talk about the annual, to talk about change, to talk about moving on. And so in the meantime, just excuse me a little. In the meantime, I want to say welcome to everybody who's joined us today on this Wake Up Guyana show, 99.1, 99.5 FM. And 99.5, you could get us an Escobar there all along the Pomeroon. The people have been getting us there, Lake Kapui in that area there, the Kapui area there. And we have so many other areas I'm not familiar with, but obviously, Anna Regina, Supernam, Charity, Queen's Song, how are you guys doing over there? I want to say good day to you people. Many persons have been calling us, getting on to us on a daily basis here. And right across the East Bank here, how are you doing? Pearl, Land of Canaan, Grove, Diamond, Craig, Friendship, how are you guys doing there? I want to say good day on the Sus Dyke. I want to say a good day to my good friend there, Captain Mike Charles. If you see that big yellow helicopter that's flying around the place that belongs to the Army, more than likely it is Captain Mike Charles who's going to be in it. A tremendous pilot, a skilled pilot who has been keeping that helicopter flying in the sky. And if you've ever had the opportunity to be in that helicopter with him, if you have any fear of helicopters, he's going to take away those fear. And he does some tremendous thing. I was there. I happened to have had the opportunity to fly with Captain Mike Charles. And let me tell you this, he is a wealth of knowledge. He's a man who could be able to tell you any part of Guyana, and he could take some tremendous photographs. Probably going to have him sometime or the other. He is willing to come on board and tell you all over Guyana he's gone to, and he could tell you every little place that there's a little house, and tells you, he could tell you where the animals are, where good fishing is. And so he would go to these places. I envy you, my friend, because you know the true beauty of Guyana by having a fully hands-on experience on that. And so he would be meeting. One time we flew with him to somewhere in the Kaieteur, doing having a situation with the mining and the pollution there. And I saw one of the biggest, is it cockle or beetle or whatever it is. And so he picked it up off the ground with his hands, and he was putting it on the shoulder of the girls and some of our reporters over there. And so, it was a photo opportunity where you could see the fear in the girl eyes, and, but we got over it. So let us see, let's see how this goes. Our people, we're going to be with you guys this evening at room 592. But in the meantime, it's not about us, it's about you guys. I think I've spoken enough. 38 minutes almost. It's 1:39, I think, according to our time here. And so we will want to have Josh. If you're listening, please send me those messages. I want to have those guys send me those messages. 6222222. And guess what? We got a lot of people following us right in the Diamond area here, all across the Grove area there. I want to say good day to Janet. Janet in that beautiful place of Caneville there. Many hardworking people. Of course, you got a few bad boys. You guys got to protect the people in the neighborhood. You know that's a hood for you. Make sure that you protect those people there. There are many good people there. And I want to say good day to Janet, such a person who have uplifted our soul. And of course, to all the people in Myconi Creek, Mahaiku Creek, how you guys doing? And more. I have some family living there. Francis, how you doing? So I go across to Burbies, all the good people down in Burbies, Blackbush, Boulder, Yakasari area, beautiful area. They have a good market there, and many people who hardworking farmers. If you never had an opportunity to take a visit there, you see what's it that people do to bring the produce out in the market. I'm talking about produce, it's celery. I think it is celery, $1,000 a pound. It's gone up to. So the vegetables and the stuff in the supermarket, they're being raised. The prices are going up, up, up. and the people are not getting any money. They're not getting a salary increase. So why is the prices being raised? What's happening here, supermarket people? What's happening is suppliers, business people. We put in pressure on our good people in Guyana. Do not. We should be a little more considerate, and it's not all about profit. Sometimes we could do something for this country, and definitely cashing in on a pandemic is not something we should be doing at this time. So it's 6 222 222. I want you to send those messages there, and it's 2267453. I'm going to ask Josh to stand by and please put through those calls, Josh. Start putting them through. We want to hear from our good people what is affecting them, what is affecting them, so we could be able to talk about it. Let's see, try to see, whether we could find some of these solutions, or we maybe could advise them. I don't have all the answers. What? Maybe we could talk about it and try to find some kind of answers. So let's go right ahead into it. As soon as you're ready, Josh, you go ahead and put through those calls. In the meantime, send those messages to 6 222 222. And it is Wake Up Guyana, and it is your show. It is your time. And we want to hear you guys talk about what is happening down there in your community. In the meantime, we are going to be talking a little about what the Minister of Public Health is saying. What the Minister of Public Health is saying with regards to the COVID-19 test. He says today, this is Minister of Public Health, and this is according to a government statement, that the results of 500 COVID-19 test samples which were sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPA, Trinidad and Tobago, um, last Monday. They're expected to return by Friday. That's today. This is Mr. Dr. Frank Anthony. The samples were sent to the agency for testing. The samples are current stock of backlog as a result of the increased testing across the country, which has been occurring since the PPPC government took office. Dr. Anthony disclosed his current backlog of 1,000 samples, which have been reduced from 1,900 a few days earlier. And so this is interesting in the story that we're getting there. So we had 1,900 in backlog, and so we managed to bring it down to that 1,000. But he's saying we have sourced another piece of equipment. We're hoping it comes by shortly. In the meantime, the numbers are expected to go up again because they're continuing to do the tests. Let's see what happens. And in the meantime, dear George, do we have some callers on the line? Could we put them through? If you do. So we are getting some, let us see, good afternoon. We have been getting some messages from our people. I'm a concerned citizen. What I want to know is that each family entitled to collect the $25,000. I'm enlightened about not every family, because some villages pick and choose who they want to put in. This is a lot of family don't work and have big houses, but it doesn't mean that they're not eligible to collect what the government promised. The people, this goes to the people who are the NDC and the Council for the Community that's involved. Have a blessed day, everyone, at the Kaieteur radio station. Yes, it is. And then somebody else is saying here, good day, I hope, Gildarie, I hope that you're feeling very well. I'm way up in the Itabali land and in the Mazaroni people, Mazaroni River. Wow, all the way from Itabali. Good day to you guys. I'm not sure how you getting us. And the residents, they're not taking the pandemic serious. You can see the residents walking and gathering in shops, not wearing masks. And a few shops selling food late at night. What is happening there? Where are the police? Itabali, and this is in Region 7, Mazaroni River. I'm not sure how you guys are getting us there, but I want to say good day. I know that you miners are working very hard. You're out there day in, day out. And if you've gone to those mining areas, it is not pretty work. It is not a very, very clean work. Um, uh, in that area there, it's so dirty, and you have mosquitoes, you have malaria, you're away from your family. There's not much anything. You got to be very careful with the food. Oh, the food is wonderful because you have something you call bahir. Those are the cook in that area, and sometimes they're from Brazil, and so food is wonderful with the beans and the different kind of fish, and so that were catch here. So, but aside from that, it's very hard, dirty work. It's tough work. You're in there in the sun. You're there in the rains, and sometimes the conditions could get dangerous. We would have heard in the past of pit cave-ins and things like that, and so people die. And then Of course, if you don't make it, people end up not getting the salary. So it's very tough work. So it's Bali. I want to say a good day to you guys. And my kids are saying that the hardest part of COVID is that they can't remember the last we hug and kiss them. I can't remember the last time. My little daughter's been looking at me with those funny eyes and says, "You can't come close to me." But it's a very hard thing. It's a very hard thing. Um, and it does send me a note, and the note says, the hardest part of the COVID is that we can't remember the last time that we were hugged and kissed. And so, yes, it is hard. And isolation. Um, First couple nights, I think I've been having some problems sleeping, and sometimes you torn and twist and so on. I don't have any breathing problems or anything. I did feel a little down yesterday. I've been using a lot of juice, coconut water, whatever it is that I could chew on and nibble on. I try to do that, keep the body hydrated, but you get dehydrated pretty quickly and you're tired. That's one of the things that you don't have the energy levels that you would normally have on any given day. So if you believe that you are protected and so on, even ministers could be affected, even parliamentarians could be affected. They're not above anything, so they have been infected. What about you? So let us be very, very clear. Joshua, do we have any callers online there? Are you there? Are you hearing me? Do we have any callers online? Could we bring our people on? 226-7453. Yes, good afternoon, caller. Are you there? We are waiting. I'm not sure where everybody gone today. Everybody gone. Is it Friday? It's the last day of the working week. It's supposed to be, but it's not the last day for us. We work every day in the media. Whether you're home Sundays or not, you still are answering phone. You still sending messages. The work continues. So where are the people today? 226-7453. Let's get it. 6222222. I want to hear from you guys today. Um, Hi, good afternoon. I'd like if the police can put more attention to these young boys that's riding and racing the front of the bicycle. I think it's called Willie on the middle of the roadway. Well, if you see them, please take the picture and send it to us because we need to do it. They don't understand. I saw one a couple weeks back. I'm not sure if it's on the railway embankment. This guy had a bike or a motorbike or something and rode straight into in front of a police car. And I couldn't believe that he's not maybe under the influence of something. Because when you look at that and see the danger that you would put yourself into, man, it is unbelievable. And so, good day. Somebody's asking here on Facebook whether Lampy Pampy will be charged with conspiracy. I'm
Hello?
not sure who Lampy Pampy is. Don't put words in my mouth. They had full knowledge that they had COVID-19. Yet
Hello?
they were willing to spread it to everyone in the parliament. So I'm not sure we'd have to continue to watch that.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. You're on the air. Finally, somebody. I was wondering what's happening. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, my brother Leonard. First of all, how are you doing, my boy?
Pretty good. You see, I'm looking shinier than you are.
Okay. I am from Region 1, Port Kaituma, but I'm in Georgetown today, and I am a regular listener to your program, both the Wake Up Guyana and the Room 592.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel bad that Room 592 is going out of existence from tonight. I hope you guys have something to replace that powerful and very, very informative program.
Well, nothing lasts forever. Let me say this to you, but let me also say it to you. While there is life, there's hope, and I'm always an optimist. So we have a couple of things up our sleeves, and like this program here, when the election was finished, we weren't going
Right.
to just part company with you, would we? So we're here, and we are going to continue. We're going to fight. We're going to find something. And Yoke says he's not going anywhere. It's just that this segment has come to an end. We will continue, and we will be bringing you other products, other services.
Okay, well, I just want to know that you guys doing a good job, and stay safe, keep the good work up, man, and we are very regular participant in your program up there in Port Kaituma. Thank you very much, man, and God bless you, and y'all stay safe.
Thank you very much. How do you catch us up there? Is it by the thing
Facebook,
or?
Facebook, and also we have the radio app, the Guyana Radio FM app. So we usually catch it on the FM through a television antenna.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yes,
I'm going to
yes,
remind our people how important it is. But I'm
yes.
glad
Because
that you
we
guys are
have a
getting it up
television
there.
dish, and so the television dish would bring in the FM, and so we
Right,
was
right,
able to
right.
catch all the FM. Yeah, and then on the Facebook, we
Uh-huh.
do the 592 room 592 and so on the Facebook. I sometimes look at this midday program on the Facebook also. So
I
that's how we
appreciate
catch it
it, my
there.
brother. What is life down in Port Kaituma like? This
Well, it's
COVID-19.
mining. It's been a little bit slow, but it's kind of picking up better now. But the COVID is having us at a setback now, man. It seems like it's now getting more cases there in Port Kaituma. So there are more signs, and so we have to be careful.
Is it? Do you believe? Is it because of we have an influx from across the border there? Region one
Well,
area there, very close to
that
the
that
Venezuela.
well, that might be so, but Pomeroon have been having early cases from a few months back, and we are about 65 to 69 miles from Pomeroon
Mm.
upriver. But then we have the government steamer going there, and you have people traveling back and forth, and so on. But I think like all over Guyana, everybody is not taking the kind of precautions they need to take. People are kind of drop the guards down, so to speak. And so that might be one of the reasons that it is kind of, affecting or will affect the community more.
Absolutely. Well, I do appreciate my brother. Please keep listening, and I will keep you guys in mind all the time. I know that you guys have been, it's a challenge out there, but it's a beautiful place. I went to Port Kaitumu years back, and if it's right next door to that little river there, and I could
Yeah.
remember that talking about even there was a talk at one point in time to make that into a tongue or something, or the capital city or something.
Well, Matthews Ridge, which is about
Matthews Way.
approximately 30 miles up the road,
So
up
yeah,
in the mountains
that's right
there.
in Region One there. I think it
Right in
is.
Region 1. Well, Matthews Ridge is part of our sub-region. We are in sub-region 3 of Region 1, which is
Right,
Matthews
right.
Ridge, Arakaka, and Port Kaituma. But I am living in Port Kaituma. Actually, I am from the Pomeroon. But are you
Wow.
related to the
Uh-huh.
Gildaries from Jackalow?
I have some people there, and there's a lot of them that has come out and living in the Demerara area there. They've been
Okay.
contacting me and says that they believe we related. I think some of them, even knowing that we're not related, have adopted
Uh-huh.
me as I'm not sure whether it's a son or brother or whatever it is. But I have
Okay,
to
okay.
trace it back. They're insisting that they're family from me, but my family, the Gildaries, came from the Maiconi area
I
there.
see.
So
I see.
it could be, it cannot be. I don't know. I've asked and nobody seems to be giving me an answer.
Oh,
believe there's an outside child somewhere along the line.
okay, okay. It might be so, in Guyana,
It could
these
be, yeah,
ghosts
yeah.
spread all over the place.
Yes, yes. I had somebody call me all the way from Madio. He believed he's family to me. I said, wow. But it is what
Okay.
it is. The Gildarie name is a very unusual name. And so you can be able to pick it up.
Yes, yes, that's true. Well, I am originally from Charity, so I am friends to some of the Gildaries up from
Yes,
Jackalow area, and I used to be in that area as a preacher, and so I
yes.
happen to know a lot of people. Yeah, man. Well, my brother, you take care of your health, and hope you feel well soon. And I'll keep looking at your program.
Thank you very much, my brother, and keep going, and guys, keep the spirit alive.
Yes, and give my regards to all there, and especially Yog, man. And I'll be tuning in tonight to see the
Yes.
grand finale.
I hope that he
Yeah.
doesn't cry.
Uh, I hope so. And then we have the grand finale coming up in the next week with Amazon Warrior bringing home the cup, right? You know that.
Man, you should not even be talking about that. I'm keeping very quiet about this thing, but it was a nice game yesterday, though.
It was.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Yeah,
God
and you
bless.
take care. God bless. Bye bye.
Bye bye. So all the way there, it is good to hear from our good people there, all the way from Port Kaituma. I'm glad that people are actually tuning in, although they're way out. And if you've ever been in that area there, I think the people who live in that area, they don't want to come to Georgetown because it's a different life. It's almost, I can't describe it to you. You should go there. It's like you see these Amazon if you've seen the movie Anaconda, in these way out areas that has these beautiful trees and things like that. But it is like a tongue at the corner of a river, and it's all vibrant. People are all there, and there's a mix. There's everybody that's there. It's a whole mixed melting pot, and you could see markets. You could see all kind of people there. You're going to see Venezuelans there, Brazilians there. Everybody is there. There's hotels. There's everything else. So different part of Guyana, you're going to see. Um, you're going to hear language that you probably never heard about before. You're going to see some people that is coming from maybe the borders of Brazil that is going to be in there because of the mining. Mining has been attracting all kinds of people, and so it's a melting pot, and that in itself is where the danger lies because of COVID-19. It has not been so very easy on those people there. It's always been a very laid back kind of thing. So. Um, Here's another two comments. Good afternoon, Professor Leonard. Wow, there's a new one now. Get well soon, brother. The people will willing to know who to talk to. We have an investigation. Um, we have an investigation at ACCCC. I don't know. I think there's an Artichon Convention Center. There's a lot to be answered to. Thank you very much. I think what this person is saying there is maybe the persons who went into parliament and knowing that they had COVID. So let us see how that goes, if that's what they're talking about. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. My mother's a pensioner who paid her last water bill, $4,000 with the previous government. Now she has a bill for $20,000. She lives alone. This is a very sad thing, and I think the government has. I had a talk with rather Minister of Housing, Colin Crowley. You remember we had him in room 592 a couple of nights back, and even talking to him before that, he would have made it very clear that as minister with responsibility for housing and water, he is looking to, with regards to pensioner, to reintroduce the subsidies. They're looking at all of that. So right about now, they getting the feet wet and looking at the budgets and having an assessment what is the state of affairs with these organizations, and they're hoping to based on that, make an announcement with regards to subsidy with water and GPL and so on. A lot of people, um, a lot of people have been complaining about the hardships that they, especially the senior citizens, would have been facing. I've seen it firsthand. This is not me talking from somebody telling me something. I'm telling you every single day. We have a foundation that has been working with people, vulnerable families, and we've been doing that for over 10 years now. I give away almost everything that's in my wardrobe, everything that's in our kitchen, because when you see what is happening out there, and the level of poverty that maybe in some places that people don't really pay attention, the people who live in on the river dam area there, and you live in on a little shack that is perched on in the riverbank. If you see the Demerara riverbank, you'd have an idea. And so there's no running water there, although people are claiming that there's running water connected illegally, of course, electricity now. But if you see the level of poverty that happens, that there's so many, even right next to you, you might be looking at somebody. Somebody said not too long ago, you might have a big house, but you have lost a job. So there's going to be hardships being experienced by that family because they have no income coming in. So we need to be very, very clear. While they've been taking down names, we should be taking down names at the moment. As long as you have a family, there's a home there, that family is going to benefit. At least that's what we told. We're waiting. I'm not going to speculate here now and talk about who is taking down names and so on. I think they've gone past that stage, you know. As long as you have a house, you're going to be benefiting. You are a family. And so the question that remains, which everybody is asking, if two families live in one house, would you have one set of help or would you have two help? We're waiting on those explanations, those clarifications from the authorities as to the modality of how they are going to share out, distribute those the $25,000, and whether there's going to be any additional help. That is also what we're going to be waiting on, because I think those are the questions that would be engaging the authorities at the moment, and the government has been scrambling also to talk about the education system as to how they're going to bring, how is it that they're going to bring or open school or not open school, yet continue to try to bring education to the people. How do you deal with the hinterland areas with those kids who has absolutely no access to maybe the internet, and you can't be able to get it? So they are looking at how do you use the media houses and the learning channel and maybe the state-owned television and radio to also bring it to the kids. It is we cannot continue forever, and I think most of the countries around the world are grappling with this challenge as well. How do you how do you deal with a pandemic that is likely to last for several more months? At the same time, start or restart some of the activities like the schools, maybe the airport, maybe the borders, without pushing the cases up. They also, I know they have been talking about it, but I know that there's a contemplation that maybe there could be a closure of the country down for 2 weeks as the authorities try to see whether they could keep this pandemic in. If you're affected also, could you be reinfected again? And so these are questions that we're asking. So let us get right down into it. It is a Wake Up Guyana show here on 99.1, 99.5 FM. We coming to you on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook. We coming to you on the Tuna app, as the gentleman just informed me, all the way in Port Kaituma and wherever you could use us from. But up an antenna, you could probably catch us there. We also coming to you on Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. And we get right back into the telephone lines, 226-7453. Josh, what do we have at the moment? Do we have to raise those issues with us today? We want them to talk to us. Good day, caller, you on the air?
Yes, good day, Glenn. This is Auntie
No, it's not Glenn,
Janet.
it's Leonard.
Hi,
It's
Len.
Leonard. How are you doing? Uh-huh.
I'm hungry, that is why. The food hot, I put it for cold. Dal and rice.
What dal and rice and what?
Dal and rice and fry okra. Yesterday fry okra and it burned up. But I
You
steam it
fry
today.
okra. Why did that happen? Were you doing
Because,
something that you weren't
because,
supposed to do?
because,
Were
yeah.
you
No, no,
washing wares or something?
no. The phone rang, and when I went there, I received that message on the phone.
Oh my
And
my!
yes,
I
and
hope that everything is all right.
the person that died is a listener on your program, and she was the one that kept me alive. And she had a heart problem, and she was on a wheelchair, and it shocked
Oh
me
my!
because of what my treacher and then doing. She just called me and keep me alive on the phone, and now she's dead and gone. So and the okra born up. The
Oh
reason
gosh,
why,
my condolences there, man. I
yes,
understand because the wonderful thing is my
mm,
grandmother is 80 something, and if you talk to her, oh man, she's wicked. She would make some jokes with you that you would say, "Wow, is that my grandmother?" But they're such lovely people. When they're
yes.
alive, we should
Yeah.
cherish them because they
Yes.
have so much to
But
offer you. It's not all
we
about the money, It's not all about the money. It's our
mm,
relationship that's important.
we all have to go someday. The reason why I call, I read in the papers that my boy you're going. You know, I can't remember. I don't know if you could remember on your program, both you and Dr. Yog. I say I would like to see the boss, Mr. Glenlal, in the center of the middle page of the Sunday Kaieteur, and you on the left
Why
or on the right, and Dr. Mahadev. You could remember that
why
on
would you want
paper?
to do that?
Yeah. Eh?
Why would you want to do that?
No, because you did so well during this election. Oh
No,
my,
no.
no,
Let
I
me tell you,
know, I
we
know,
have our
I know,
duty.
I
We have our
know.
duty to the people
It,
of Guyana. It is
yes,
not the story is not about us. The story is about you guys.
yes, I
Our
know,
job. It's
but
our mandate.
yes, 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 I know we are here, but it was not y'all. Nothing would have shown to the whole world. And I must say, congratulate to the two of you, both of you. But I'm so sorry that I cannot get to see y'all live tonight. I don't have nothing on WhatsApp or so, just the television, but nothing would be shown live on the television. May I ask?
No, no, we don't
Yes.
have the
But
television. Maybe we
I
could
want
apply for
to
a
say,
license, or we could probably ask.
if the president is listening, I think Kaieteur News must have. I'm asking please that they get a television station for us. We need that too. I hope.
Let's see what happened. I'm going to talk to Glenn. We haven't even earned
Yes.
any kind of advertising. We didn't
Yes.
even concentrate on advertising during the last couple of months
I
because we
know.
just wanted to, we were
Mhm.
so busy
Yes.
being getting these programs here. It's not easy work. There's a lot of preparation that goes into it, and sometimes what we do is just allow the program to flow, allow the people
Yes.
to have their say, and I think that's why people would love these programs so much because it gives them a voice, it gives them something to really,
Yes.
uh,
Because
a little
yes.
comfort, if you will.
And sometimes we don't know what's going on, and you and Dr. Yogi would put it through, and then so enlighten us, what's going on in the country. And I say, I won't get to talk to Dr. Yogi, but please put on my message to him, congratulate. I know he's going to be in the history book. I want you to be there too.
Well, I'm
And it,
not sure. I am more of a background kind of person. I never like this spotlight here. It's
I
not something
know,
that we really intend. In
I
fact, it
know.
was a 2 day something that I hoped to do on radio, and then it
Yes.
kind of went. I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave because the matter, it dragged on for 5 months, and we had to continue. We were obligated to continue to ensure that the people would get the updates as we get them. We couldn't allow because when we looked across, there was very little that the people who are being updated with. They were the normal news, yes, but the
Mhm.
analytical part of it, you get it down to the nitty gritty and
Yes.
analyze it and so on. There was an absence of that.
Anyhow, kudos to Dr. Yog, and this is Mistress Janet Kubrat here. I want to say, Yog, I hope you keep up the good work and don't forget us. Don't forget the Kaieteur guys. I hope you're not going out of the country and leave us.
No, no. All right, take care, my sister. You have a good
I
day.
enjoy how he just put out the jokes to you. Sometimes I know if you to get a car, but you're entity. I say, I don't
No,
know.
what he does, Yog is a very wicked guy. Maybe tonight I'm going to tell him. And before you go, Yog would send me some nice pictures of bread and things like that. Not that
Yeah.
I'm a big lover of bread, but all these nice things with food and things like that. Maybe I think he got it somewhere. Yog, if you're listening, I believe that's not something that
You
you cook
know.
in your house. I think you pull it off from Google or somewhere and you send it to me. And then he would call, he says, that's what I had for lunch.
Oh my.
That's
Oh
yeah, yeah.
my.
So he's a
Especially if it's a favorite, huh? Yes. I know
yeah.
how it is though. Anyhow, you all guys, you all keep it up and congratulate to Dr. Young.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and do have a pleasant rest of the day.
You take care, eh?
God bless. Bye
And
bye.
say hello to the family for me, please. Thank you. Bye
Yes, I
bye.
will do that. Thank you very much, sir. So, in the meantime, what's up with the information with the house lots? If you missed it, I did indicate to you that according to the Minister of House and Kroll, that the house lots the house lots application and the person of house lots application um, uh, they have been put on hold until there's a review to ensure that people who didn't get or who weren't supposed to get that they want to have an idea what exactly is the state of play with regards to the house lots and application. There are about 68,000 according to Minister Kroll, and so they want to bring down those figures, and they're hoping to do 50,000 house lots within 5 years. That's what they're saying. So they're looking at several areas, including some sugar areas, sugar lands areas, to share it out. And it's not only in Demerara alone, but across in the other areas as well. Made it very clear that housing is not about Demerara alone. So that's what you would have asked him. Good afternoon, Leonard. What is bothering me is that since March, my husband has been off work without being paid. We've been trying with whatever the Lord bless us with. It's been 7 months. Nobody's been bothering about we. What because we're Indian. So okay, these people in our community just picking and choosing the house to book. And when election time finished, nobody has come to us. I'm sure that let me see. this person is complaining that nobody's given her help. They would have given. There's a lot to talk about, but I guess another day. This person is complaining here about that nobody's paying attention, and there are many cases like this that we would have received. The question is it a little too early, or is it too much that we are expecting out of government? Should we give them a little more time? In the meantime, the people are starving. People are really finding it hard. These are some of the big issues that they're dealing with for the people who has none to eat, who has on to cook, and then the banks are knocking on the door. NBS is calling. Courts maybe would have given them some time, but they're worried because they have to go through and look at another month, and there's something happening. Nobody's calling you back for your job. I understand very clearly what is some of the worry, the anxiety that we have in. I understand that very clearly. So uh, I think we could only hope that it's not all up to government, that some of our business people too. And let me state this: our business people got to start to thinking too about how they could really jumpstart themselves back up. Do not sit still. Do not wait for manna to fall from heaven. There's a couple of things that we could be doing. Think differently. Um, uh, if you were looking at doing business a traditional way, that you open a shop and hope that everybody come to your shop, why not to try for a business that could probably deliver something? I've seen so many delivery services, many places on using Facebook and things like that now, that they're advertising that if you can come to us, we could deliver it to you. And those are the kind of ways that we have to think. And of course, I'm just addressing this to the people who have access to the internet. What about those that don't have? We could start thinking life a little differently. How could we increase the number of persons that we are, employing and so on? And of course, that comes back to the fundamental thing. There are many people who would have money, or have a little more than the next door neighbor. If you have it, share. You don't want people out on the road out there that don't have anything to eat and they have a couple of faces staring at them. They're gonna find a way of getting it to feed those kids. And you know what are some of the ways that we're talking about. I'm not saying that it's justifiable. I'm just saying to you what are some of the facts of life, or what are some of the realities that we deal with. If you walk into some areas where crime is rampant and there's the gangs and so on, if you go to some of those persons who are involved with the robberies and so on, and you talk to them and you ask them why you committing that, and you should not, you should find a work, and then they're going to tell you stories about being profiled because you are of another race. These are the realities that we are dealing with, and you see the good America where a lot of my friends and families are living. They will tell you of some of the race problem that they're dealing with. We call it ethnic problems, and so this is not something that's going to go away in a little while. We have to look at the root of the problems of poverty. We have to deal with it. We have to start not just looking for short-term solutions here. We should not be looking at $25,000, but we have to start looking at the way we do business. Why is it that we have Chinese companies that comes in, or Chinese business supermarkets come in and take over our businesses again? And what's it that we do wrong? Is it because we want to make $1 million in a day? Is it that we can't, be a little comfortable? Let's go for the long term, and we could compete with these companies there, these supermarkets and others. What's it that they're doing? Maybe from the authorities' point of view, are some of these companies, these businesses that are springing up, are they getting goods that maybe getting a free pass on the wharves because we're unable? The normal man who's bringing it in a legit manner is unable to compete with the people who maybe a lot of Chinese people, whether we like it or not, and they could probably take me to task for this. It's reality. A couple of rogue customs officers are allowing these containers to come in, and so you don't have to pay taxes. And when you got to compete against somebody who pay taxes with the containers that they bring in, you're beating the hell out of them. And then sometimes when you go to the supermarket too, some of the goods that you see there are not above board. They are mock-up, they're counterfeit. So you pay, you think you're getting a good deal on it, and you're dealing with something counterfeit that may not necessarily be safe. So this way the Food and Drugs Department would have to come in. Mr. Marlon Cole, you have a lot of work on your plate there. a lot of things that you would have to look at. But our country is suffering. There are many, many issues that we could go on and talk about why our people are facing the issues that they're facing. Why is it that we have a middleman buying produce from our farmers, and the farmers are being given short end of the stick, and the middlemen are the one who's cashing a big time because they don't see it. What about if I give these guys a better price? I mean, business is business. I understand that you got to make money for yourself. But what about those farmers who have to go day in and day out? You know what? A lot of farmers did not plant during the last couple of months because of the poor prices. What we see happening now is high prices for produce, and it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle that we see happening over and over and time again. So let us be real about it. These are issues that needs to be dealt with. What about the authorities, the Ministry of Agriculture stepping in and advising some of the farmers instead, everybody owning a tractor, why not have one person or a co-op own a tractor, and that tractor, do it for every field instead of everybody owning a pump? Why can't you have an integrated system of maybe drainage and irrigation that is going to benefit five families with one tractor? That because these are things when you got to take a tractor, so a couple $1 million, you got to pay that per month, and then that comes out of the cost of production at the end of the day. I mean, maybe I'm talking a little high language here, but it is what it is. Because you are there as a farmer, the price drop, and then you got to pay the bank, you got to pay iPad or whoever you take the tractor from, or a retail company who is giving you a high purchase, and you're there at the end of the month and make enough, and so you're in that vicious cycle. Do we wonder why there's suicides and men drink in the farming communities, and there's huge incidents of domestic violence? Should we be ashamed to talk about these things? These are issues. These are issues that we have to raise, bring to the table, put them and deal with it in a very holistic manner, in a manner that don't sweep it under the carpet. We've been doing that too long. Too long we've been doing that. So let's get back to those lines. I think I've talked enough. I wanted to share that with you. Josh, do we have another person on the line there? Let's bring them on, man. Yes, good day calling you on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Miss Leonard.
Yes, good day calling you on the air.
Good
I
afternoon,
don't think
Leonard.
we have anybody there. In the meantime,
Good
let's go
Yeah, we do.
down
afternoon.
Go
to.
ahead.
Oh, we do. Yes, go ahead. Caller, you on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you today?
A little better. I'm trying
I
here,
hope
dealing with
I
this
like
here.
to hear that when you say you feel a little bit more better.
Yes.
I'm calling concerning this 25,000 people what them the here the government president are give out of the country. This is there any people that we need to book down our name or people will come in house to house?
Hold on, let me get because I've been told that the NDCs, I am receiving some unconfirmed information that the NDCs might be in charge of the gathering of names. But the funny thing is, if there is houses in the area, I think every house should be getting one as long as a family live there. But that's the unscientific way. Maybe there's another better way that they're gathering those information. I would say to you, wait until they make the announcement, and then we would seek clarification.
Because I get to hear people are booking down name in some place.
No, don't panic yourself. I mean, if you have a family, you're entitled to that. So you guys here, wait a minute. I've been receiving a lot of calls on this. A lot of people raising concerns. Don't ask me anymore. Let's have the announcement first, and
Yes.
let us take it from there, step by step, because we would be asking the hard questions as to how the families are getting it. Is it every house in the area? Is it every family that maybe there's three, four families in a building? How is it happening? Let us wait. Let us see. Let's don't speculate at the moment. The
Yeah,
president
because
has made
people
it very
talking a
clear.
whole
It
set of
is
things,
every
and that's why.
family in Guyana that is going to benefit. And I take his word for that.
Okay, because people talking a whole set of things, you got to go.
No, don't bother with that. People are spreading rumors. People don't know. Don't do that. Do not
Okay,
fall
and
into that.
the
Don't let it
next
don't,
thing.
don't let it worry your head, man. All right?
Okay, I got the next question.
Sure.
The public assistance, do they use the stamp?
all the pages for the 6 months, right? For the 6 months. Now when you go, you got them all. You stamp one. Now in this problem that we have to face, or go down into town, travel in the minibus. You don't know who have the virus, so you have to go every month to stamp one page every month. It is very hard for those people who have to go stamp them pages every month.
All right, I'm glad that you raised it. Let me address it this way to you. I spoke to Dr. Vindhya Prasad, Minister of Human Services, not too long ago. She is going to be on with about 10 minutes tonight, to 10, 15 minutes with us in room 592 because we have a bunch of guests that's coming on. I want to surprise you guys. But she has committed to herself to make a day available to appear on this program here, the Wake Up Guyana show. So she and I could have a discussion, and maybe we could have people calling in, and we're gonna take. I know that she's very busy. There's so many things that's happening because this pension thing, this public assistance thing, is something that is a big deal, and I think she knows that too. I told her that people have been asking, and she committed herself to appear on this program here. You there? All right. Um, so in the meantime, while we try to get some other callers there, well, let me make it very clear. Please, you guys do not listen to any rumors or anything. The president, it is the president, Dr. Irfan Ali, who would have said in an address to the nation that this $25,000 going to every family in Guyana. Our understanding of family is that if you live in a house, or if you live in a house and there's two or three family, every family, that's what we're gonna go by. So don't worry, you guys. Don't worry. Do not panic. Do not listen to anybody who says people taking down your name. They cannot take down the names if you're living in a particular house and you will make a claim. There has to be something. So let's let us see what happens from there. So you guys just don't panic. Do not take anybody that is rumoring that they don't know about. Even the authorities, I think, are still scrambling or still working out the measures in which they're going to give it out to the people. But it has to come to every family, and that is what the president says. So in the meantime, we go back to some messages until Josh put me through to a couple of things. Um, let me see. Good afternoon, Leonard. 592 will be missed, but hats off to you guys who really put Guyana back on track. Mission accomplished. May I suggest you compile those programs and put it in the archive, if possible, donate it to the library and UG for reference. Man, you guys have me smiling here. Thanks again. Mr. Gildarie, you're doing a great job. Wish you good health and strength. Good afternoon, sir. I'm living on the east coast of Demerara. I need some help. I have a mortgage to pay with NBS Bank. My husband working 2 weeks, 2 times a week. I have a balance of 4 months to pay. I have to get the money by 4th of October. I don't know how. During this pandemic, my husband isn't working, so that's how I have an outstanding balance there. I guess I have to get some assistance. Please, sir, I'm asking. Okay, ma'am, this is what I need you to do. Live in NBS. You need to go into NBS and you need to have a chat with them. I understand that the Bank of Guyana and some other bankers would have met with the president, and this is in a meeting to discuss how they could have some measures meeting out to the people. You need to engage your bank. For all those who have mortgages with the banks, please reach out to the banks, reach out to the NBS, and ask them to give you some more time. I think the banks have been given some more time and have been given the restrictions which would have allowed them or which would have stopped them from giving you more time has been lifted or is about to be lifted. So, ma'am, if you're listening to us and your big worry is about what you owe to the bank, you need to talk to the bank or to NBS in this case that you're talking about. And you need to engage them and ask them for some more time. I'm sure that you're going to get some more time. And let me know how that works out. Text us back and let me know how that works out. In the meantime, I'm really sorry for that. Um, this is somebody. Hi, how are you? What's up with the information in regards to house? Like you just only answer ladies' calls. No, I don't answer lady calls. I need you. I need info how to get onto CHMP with regards to the house lot and the remigrant scheme. I'm closing on my house in South Ozone Park. Then I got my rent until I start my project in Guyana. I want to buy not for free in the remigrant schemes. The government has put everything on a hold right now while they're reviewing those house lot applications. I did ask Minister Colin Crowell about the remigrant scheme, and he says these are all areas that they're looking back to. He's continuing. He says that there's going to be a lot of continuation of some of the programs started by the People's Progressive Party Civic while they were in government with regards to housing and water. So what they're doing right now is an assessment, and so um, this is a big one coming from somebody. I must read it to you guys. Happy Friday. I'm a daily listener, and you may block me today. Um, all right, let me read this. I'm really upset with Mr. Gildarie because he's been telling us over the past 5 months to protect ourselves. He talks about minibus drivers and people in the seawater. He was so right. However, Mr. Gildarie found it necessary to attend the inauguration ceremony where hundreds of people were in attendance. After workers at Kaieteur, we report COVID. He then took the test. From the time he took the test to the time he received the result, he was seen at least once at the scene where the coker broke and there was flooding. He was wearing no mask and he was in close proximity to a number of persons. At that time, he put his wife and kids at risk, and all the people he interacted with. My point is that he has to obey and follow the principles we preach. He has two amazing kids and a lovely wife who he's caused so much stress on because he's positive. I hope everyone uses Mr. Gildarie's experience and behavior as a teaching lesson. COVID is real and will spare no one despite our status, wealth, religion, and ethnic group. I pray and hope his wife and kids do not get ill. And Gildarie will not hide anything. If that's what a caller and a listener would say, it is we as there was one time I apologized on air for tearing up on the caller viewer because maybe they didn't say something that I like, or maybe they were saying something, and I've learned to be tolerant. And in this job here, we should always take criticism as it comes, and everything that the caller viewer would have said there, it is something. It's a rude awakening. It is a lesson for everybody that sometimes even where we sit across here, we make our mistakes too. Does that mean that our lessons, our life should not be a lesson to you guys? And so I'd be the first one to say, I could apologize. I'm a big man. And I could move on and say that it's not going to happen again. So that's where it's at. So thank you very much for that, caller listener. I know that deep down in your hearts that you guys love what we're doing and you want to see what is best and that we should be doing the best. So when we screw up, when we mess up, you guys are going to be there to say, no, don't walk this line, let's walk the other line. And so that makes it, it means that you are in tune with us. So thank you very much there, folks. So a good day to all who have joined us there. We have like about 30 minutes left in the Wake Up Guyana show here. And it is coming to you on the Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5, and all three coastline in the region 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Even 1 we get in them in. Not sure about 7. I know that the region 10 they were picking us up there. So I want to say good day to everybody who has joined us and right across the Caribbean, North America, Europe. You guys have been very, very good towards us. So we go back. George, do we have another call there? We need to talk for people, man. Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're there.
Hi, good afternoon. Am I on to Leonard Gildarie?
Yes, you are on the air right now. Go right ahead, sir.
Okay. Leonard, what I'm calling about, I'm having a problem with the GPL on my bill.
Yes.
For the past 2 years or so, I've been paying like between $14,000 to $16,000 monthly on my bill, right? And this last month bill came for the $2,900 and something dollars. So I was trying to get it queried, but they give me a WhatsApp number and thing to WhatsApp and whatever, but I didn't get it queried because the bill that came for the 2009 something, I paid 20,000 on it just not to get disconnected.
Have you ever gone that high?
No, never.
And
what
it's
I'm
only
saying.
you, and you don't have any big thing working, any workshop or anything
No,
there.
as I
It's
say,
your home.
it's a home, and it's like between 2 to 3 years now. There's the one amount of paying between 14 and 16, and why I pay between that is because when according them, they tell me that sometimes they read the meter and sometimes they estimate. So whenever they read what was short or more, they just rectify it. So you get a difference actually, right? So now the bill come for 2,953. I tried to query it. They say that after actual reading, then they get the amount, so the money got to pay because they said it was estimated, and they estimate what they're telling me is from March to June, right? Now, as I said, I went and paid 20,000. My sister living in the streets with me, right? And they got a bill at the same time when I get the 42,000 bill. They get one for 23,000, whereas they
How much you normally pay?
they just pay between like 6.5 and 7.5, right?
I wish my bill could come down that low, man. But
Yeah.
let me tell you what you could do right now. 2267042, 2267042, Public Utilities Commission. I think this is a matter that needs to be brought to them, and they would pick up the phone and call them. So you need to talk to them.
I tried Public Utilities yesterday, but I didn't get a response. Well, here now, let me tell you this party. I spoke to one Mr. Savory, right? After getting the next bill because the money come back, right? And he told me after an actual reading, that's why my bill come for 2,000, right? But I was okay with that because he tell you was estimate anything. But to my surprise, the bill that my sister got last month for 23,000, right? And they queried it. This month bill come with a credit balance. It actually means their bill was rectified, but mine wasn't. And I called yesterday to speak to them, and a guy at the end of the line, he was so rude, and I can't really describe it. He tell me that I got to pay the bill or I gonna get disconnect. But if they're saying, listen to me what I'm saying. If they're saying that was from an actual reading, right? Right? And it's come for 2,000. And 4 houses down the street, my sister actual reading come 23,000. How come their own got rectified after querying and my own can't get rectified? It was a mistake for sure because for 2 years now I paying 2 or more years I paying between 14 and 16.
That's madness what they do. They had handed me a bill of $26,000 so and they had said that because they were estimated, and I think the bill kind of rectified after that. But for $42,000, definitely a red flag there. And you said you spoke to the PUC?
No, I called yesterday and I didn't get through.
Oh, you didn't get through? That's strange. I'm gonna in the directory, try the directory if you have a directory, and the Public Utilities Commission, and you're gonna see some other numbers there. But they take these things. They tell them that I advise you, and they take all these complaints. That's their job.
Yeah, I know. That's why I tried calling them yesterday.
Maybe I'd have to get some other numbers for them.
This guy,
you know what? Let me. I'm gonna read out some numbers here to the people right now. I have my directory right now. So right away, you go ahead, sir. In the meantime, you could talk.
Yeah, and if what I'm saying, what Mr. Savory told me, it was after an actual reading that I got this bill, right? Because of after estimating and thing. Actual reading now. So I was asking the guy yesterday if after actual reading my bill come for 2,000 something, and my sister went to 23,000, right? And they queried they one, and they one got right now they get a credit bill for 11,000 something. It means that their bill was rectified and was back to the normal, right? And they're telling me that I got to pay it or I will get disconnected. But the guy didn't tell me his name yesterday, who I was talking with. He didn't reveal his name. But the day before I spoke to Mr. Savory. It's for a month now I've been trying to get this thing. I called you a couple times, but I never get through.
Oh my goodness. Look, I'm gonna try to get the numbers here for the Public Utilities Commission. They're supposed to be in the directory here. I'm not sure why I'm not getting it here, but let me give it to you. Try to get them there and let them pick up this case here for you, because anybody, in fact, that goes for anybody. You got an issue with Guyana Water Inc. You have an issue because these people are the regulators. These people are the ones who drop the hammer on them whenever they mess up or they screw up. So let us deal with them there. I want you to call them, okay?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, here,
I
I have a
can get
directory here.
a number for you.
No, well, I have a directory here with some numbers for the PUC, right?
Right,
And
right,
it
right.
follows, yeah, it's about 6 numbers, but I called one yesterday where it says complaints division, the 7042 number you're giving me,
Right.
but I didn't get a reply.
All right. Let me
If
see
I
how
can
you can do
answer.
that. In the meantime, I'm going to try to get some other numbers here too, because okay, Public Utilities Commission. I'm going to read this out to the people, but try to do that for me, okay?
Yeah, I will.
I'm gonna do that. Thank you very much, sir. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.
Good. So in the meantime, let me call some numbers for you here. If you have a problem with the telephone, you're not getting good service, or you believe that you've been screwed over by the Guyana Telephone and Telegraph Company, the Guyana Power and Light Inc., and the Guyana Water Inc. These are some of the numbers for the Guyana Utilities Commission. I'm going to call them out, and the chairman number is 227 32 3293. This 227 3293. Or you could call the complaints division. The complaints division is 226 7042 or 227 3204. And they're going to tell you what to do from there. All right. So that's where it's at. So let me go back that once again. The chairman number is 227 3293. The complaints department is 226 7042 or 227 3204. So that is about it. In the meantime, let us see whatever else. Josh, do we have any other callers online there? Could we check?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. This is a guy who called you a couple months ago, about 4 months ago, from Pomeroon.
Pomeroon.
Yeah.
I could remember you and the two daughters, a couple daughters or something.
Yeah, no, concern the education wise. I'm
Yes.
worried about. I got a son in grade 1, and where we living in Pomeroon, we don't get no access to the internet service.
But that is a problem that they face with right now. How do you open? Because they don't know what. The big problem is not so much out in the coast here, is what's going to happen in the hinterland and some of those riverine communities like the Pomeroon and so, when you don't have access to internet and so on. And I think they're dealing with that at the moment. They've been in talks with that, and so they have announced that they've cancelled the assessment for grade 2, 4, and 9, and I think this is all part of the what they're trying to move to have some measures in place to reopen the education system. And I think many parents are worried like you too. We'd have to wait until they make an announcement. As of now, they don't have a clue because a lot of the areas without internet.
Okay. The next problem we got in this village here, that's where we live. We have a Tusha is a PNC man, and right now the government changed, and when the government changed, he said he don't have time with the people in the village.
Mm-hmm. Have you raised that with the regional folks, or who could you complain to?
Right now, I mean, how the sickness going wrong. I mean, the people were really working. And it's hard. One people getting real assistance, but then don't give to everybody. It's just like who them feel like giving.
So you're not getting any help or anything?
No, we ain't getting no help.
And this is Jacklo, Pomeroon, you says?
Up the river, till up Kabukaburi.
That's how much miles from Charity there?
About 20.
20 miles. Wow. All right, I'm going to continue because this is a problem that I'm really interested in, because we have received so many calls, so many concerns being raised about what is it exactly is going to happen with the education system. Nobody who's a parent would want the kids to be home so long, definitely not 5 months. And the kids themselves are a little tired, they get bored, they do all kind of crazy things. So let us see let us wait. We waiting on them to make some announcement as to exactly how they can deal with the hinterland areas, which is where you're calling from.
Yeah, because we up in the Pomeroon, and we wish if this government could assist we with a good internet service that we could get access with care and benefits.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, my brother. You take care and thank you very much. I hear you. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I want to say good day to all the folks down in the Pomeroon area there. And it's a wide river. If you've gone to the Esquivel Coast and you see where Charity is on the other end of the Esquivel Coast there. And that Pomeroon River is a gateway to the Winey River area there, which is that you could use that area there to come from Venezuela. And so there is a lot of activities, a lot of big houses, a lot of things happening there, a lot of farming happening there. Some of the best coconuts come from the Pomeroon area. I want to tell you about Pomeroon coconut. You looked at that, you said, wow. We have a lot of coconuts coming there, a lot of produce come from that area there. There's a gentleman in that area there too that I know very well. His name is Juiceman. I want to say a good day to Mr. Juiceman. Everybody knows him. He has operations with coconut water, cane juice, and so on down in the Charity area there. He lives in that area there too. So I want to say good day to you, sir. How are you doing? The Essequibo Coast is a beautiful place, and I know that the Pomeroon, many people don't want to get out of there, but it has become increasingly hard because not only because of flooding from time to time, but because of the actual availability of jobs and so on. So it's a good day. We coming down. We have like about 10, 15 minutes to go. Let us see what else we could get up. Josh, do we have another caller in the area?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I'm
Good
a
afternoon, sir.
regular listener to your program. Excuse me, and I'd like to say, especially Mr. Minister Frank Anthony, the commendable work he's been doing over the past month that he's been in the ministry about COVID and detecting and all that. Commendable. However, today I got some disturbing news. And the news is that we know that all the country is practically shut down with the ministries. Workers work part day, part time, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But today there's a circular that's going around in GLDA that all workers should return back to work as normal and leave at 3 o'clock. Now tell me, all this is going on. All this pandemic is going on. We get in charge, have to go to court for not wearing masks. The schools, we know, and no need for me to repeat it. The whole shutdown situation with this pandemic, and these people opening back GLDA. Now tell me, I don't believe Mr. Minister knows about this. I don't even want to believe that he sanctioned it. I just want to believe somebody's
if you could
crazy
figure
now.
out a way of getting us that copy of the circular,
No,
maybe we could send it.
No, I can't get it. It's information I got. And I would like
All right,
you to do just that. If you could investigate it, and GLDA Monipo, to be direct, and they will tell you if that circle exists and that's what's going on. This is crazy for people to have to go back to work, and the entire country is now 1 in 4. We're 1 in 4 with this pandemic, and these people sending people to go to work every day, like it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would want to believe that person who's making the decision might as well tell all the ministries, y'all open the schools, open the banks, open GPL, open all over.
It's a very difficult thing. I understand where you're coming from with this. I'm going to raise this with the agriculture minister. Maybe I'm going to send him a text immediately after this. I did text out a couple of issues that was raised yesterday during our program to the various ministers, including Minister Colin Crowell, Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony. They've all acknowledged and says they are addressing the issues. I'm going to send this to the Minister of Agriculture, Susan Finisher, and maybe he could look into it as well.
Indeed. I was appalled when I heard that. I couldn't believe it. I had to get on this. You know, I left my job working while doing to call you 15 times in a row. Didn't get you. Now to hear this.
Yes.
I mean, it's unbelievable, Mr. Gildarie, that I had to hear this had to be going on, that people going back to work full time as it's normal and leaving 3 o'clock. GLDA specifically, please, somebody needs to put a stop into that, because that could be the precedent for other things happening other places.
I thank
Eh,
you very much for that, sir. I hear you. I'm gonna have this addressed right away.
Thank you, Mr. Gildarie. You enjoy the day.
You
Bye-bye.
too, sir. So I want to say good day to the good folks there at the Guyana Livestock and Development Authority, GLDA, on the East Coast. I think it's on the Monrepo area there. I want to say good day to you guys, and I know that you have been working very, very hard. And there's so many other side of Guyana that we don't know that many things goes on behind the scenes. Farmer support, the Ministry of Agriculture. We have so many different departments here. You have the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, you have the GLDA, you have I think it's the Fisheries Department. So many areas here that we need to look into, and there are many technical people who's also the Rice Development Board as well. You had a corporation. I want to say good day to my good friend Kevin. How you doing, Mr. Macklingham there at the Guyana Marketing Corporation? If you're listening, I hope that you guys, there's many things that if you don't know, if you want to know about what is being produced locally and you want good stuff, like you want to talk about peanut butter, you want to talk about jam and jelly, guava jam and jelly, you want to talk about locally made pepper, you want to talk about everything local, all the rum and everything, you can go there to the Guyana Marketing Corporation, right in Rob Street there. Can't remember who was across street, but it's right in Rob Street there. If you pass Camp Street heading down east along Camp Street, you're going to find it just in the border area there. And so they have a lot of stuff that is local that you could be able to pick up and that are very, very good quality. I understand that there is a very good Jamun wine. I forget what's the name of the entity that does it. Maybe somebody could remind me, but they make, I understand, I had a taste of it, and we have one of the best wines in that Jamun wine. I think we should make it into an international thing and maybe make it into a thing that the hotels locally should have it at the dinner table or something if you're a wine person. Because that wine is so good, it's so refreshing. And I'm not a wine person, but it is, we have those things right in our backyard here. And they're very good products, very good quality, very good taste too. So it is there. We have some of the best peppers. We have some of the best cane juice here. Some of the best coconut water. In fact, we have the best coconut water in the entire world. That I say without apologies. So good day to you, Wake Up Guyana show. It has been a very good one and a half, how we say it, 1 3/4 hours over the last, since just after one we'd have joined you. Been coming to you here on 99.1, 99.5 FM. And we also been coming to you Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. I want to say good day to Barbies, a good day to Demerara, good day to Essequibo. How you guys doing? And Linden, how you guys doing there? I want to say good day to Upper Barbies area there. Kwakwani, a good day to you guys. And I truly, if you're getting us, I'm not sure if you're going to get us. Suzak Linden Highway, the Timeri area, how you doing? Madawini. So it is what it is there. Let's see if there's some more messages. Jamun, and you people know about Jamun. I see somebody, RNJJ, how you doing? They talk about Jamun here. I think Jamun is one of the best things that I've seen. You could eat it with salt, and it tastes nice, but you shouldn't be eating so much salt. But Jamun is so sweet. Sapodilla is another one. I think they put all the sugar into sapodilla, but it's such a lovely fruit. Um, Let me see here. Good afternoon, Gildarie. Could you find out when the new government would allow vehicles older than 8 years old to be imported? It was one of the campaign promises. We can all read. I know that there are some meters that have a lot of clock and you could read them anti-clock, and then they have some that will read straight. Well, I don't know about the prepaid. I think about now all Guyana should be able to read their own meters and cross-check it with their light bill and take a picture, send to GPL. GPL has a WhatsApp number. Good afternoon, Leonard. How are you doing? I wish you a speedy recovery. God bless. No more coming into Parfait Harmony to register people for the 20th. No one, it got to be no one come. No one is coming to Parfait Harmony to register people for $25,000. Good afternoon. My grandfather is 64. He's not here, and I want to know if he can get assistance. Could you guys help him? I can't help him. What I could tell you, you could do. What I can help you with is the Ministry of Human Services. you have to get him registered there. If he's not getting NIS, he could get some public assistance there. So thank you very much for that. Josh, could we take a couple more calls as we head down into the final stretch here today? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're there.
Afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon.
Could you lower the volume on your radio, please, sir?
I wanted to give to get speedy recovery, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. Could you lower the volume on your radio, please? Could you do that for me?
Yeah. And I like to get speedy recovery. And I started to hear that 592 Sabbath out fun tonight.
Yes.
Right? Because I'll think me listening every day in your program and at night, right? But what I'm calling for, I feel that there is $25,000 voucher where they will give, right? You don't put no consuls to look after it, right? Let the head people come and do it. Some people who is in town, they can't do it here. That is this region 6A, right? Especially at Alden and BC, consuls them think for themselves. You understand?
No, it has to be every family. They can't take anybody else. In fact, let me tell you very, very clear. This thing has to be every family. It's not one family or the other family. It's every family that you're supposed to give it to.
But then people don't do that.
No, they have to think that you guys are going to open your mouth. The president says that. It's not them saying that. The president says every family is going to get it.
I listen that, buddy. I mean, all the program I listen to the calls. Why call? Because I live in the area at Barbies. So I know what the councils get into in this area. It's very getting it. Right? And especially party people are not supposed to be functioning to that thing. Right?
Right. And I agree with you. Well, let's see what happens. But the president says every household, and let's see every family.
So what I listen you within 2 pounds, 3 pounds in the house, they're supposed to give everybody. I don't know cook the part one side.
Yeah, as long as you could prove that you cook your part one side.
You entitled to get it. Well, you know.
Yes, I think. But if you have your wife, and I mean, if you were there with you and your wife and you have a kid and he's working elsewhere, you can't say you cooking a pot one side. So that's one family. But if you have your son and your daughter also living there and they cook in the pot one side, they're living downstairs, maybe in another room or whatever it is, you could prove that. It's going to be, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be trying a lot of things because obviously it's money that's involved. But let us be fair because remember, this is money that's going to come from somewhere. But they cannot bypass a house and go to the next house. Every family got to get.
This guy here, they have and let me tell about it. And I look faces to give.
Don't matter with that. You don't matter with that. Don't matter with the people telling you. The president says one thing and that's what we're going by.
I listen to the program because I tell you, a radio, I buy the radio to listen to your program.
Yes.
Right? Then money, whole last night, I didn't sleep. I listened to all the old last night. English, Indian, I listened to enjoy it. Right? And then
All right, my brother. I do thank you very much for that. And you don't bother with anybody. Don't listen to rumors. Let's don't listen to rumors.
Okay. Right.
God bless you. Thank you very much. So I want to say good day to all the folks down there in Berbice, in the Albion area, in the Wim area. How you guys doing? And of course, New Amsterdam. There's Tanya Naimtali. If you're listening, my dear, a good day to you. To my good reporter up there, we have a good reporter. She is a Hong Kong news, no other than my dear friend, Melissa Plater Harry. And I know that her husband celebrated his birthday a couple of days back. Good day to you, sir. Melissa is our reporter that's down that way, 651-8326. That's our number, 651-8326. If you have a crime that you want to report or you have a story to tell her, give her a call and she would be able to assist you up there in Berbice. 651-8326. Melissa Plater Harry. So thank you very much for that. So coming down to program time now, that has been the Wake Up Guyana show. And we would have been coming to you on 99.1, 99.5 here on Kaieteur Radio. We're not in our studio at 24 Saffron Street, but we are elsewhere operating remotely because of the COVID-19 restrictions and because of regulations. I am at home in isolation. So this is your host, Leonard Gildarie. It's been a pleasure over the last 1 hour, 50 minutes thereabout, or less than that. And so we are going to come back to you on Monday on the Wake Up Guyana show to talk a little on every and any issue that we want. So next week, for this shore, as the boys would say around the corner, we are going to bring to you the NIS. We are going to bring to you officials from the various ministries. Now that we know very clearly how we're going to go, we are going to bring to you all the authorities that has to do with issues that you've been complaining about your water bills. And so we're going to bring the PUC people. We're going to be sitting down with them and we're going to be talking to them about some of the questions that you have and how you can be able to get help with that. If you have issues with GWI, we're going to try to bring the GWI people so they can be able to tell you. But we know there's a lot of scampish little technicians out there that are hooking up people for a fee or forcing people to pay a fee for something that they've been paid to do. So, you guys got to be very careful on the road in the meantime. As always, I'm going to say to you, stay safe, wear your mask, stay away from everybody else. And let us remain safe. Let us protect our family. And as we continue with this beautiful country of ours, let us also tell you that tonight, this evening, we are going to be with the grand finale, as Dr. Yog Mahadi would call it, of room 592. And in that show there, we're going to maybe reminisce a little, maybe look back at some of the big shows that we would have had during the last couple months, and talk to some of the guests that we would have had, some of the big guests. We are going to have with us for a very short while. I wish we could have a little more, but our time is going to be very tight tonight. It's going to be no other than Minister of Human Services, Dr. Vindhya Prasad. She's going to be with us for a very short while from 7:30. And then Yog and I are going to have a back and forth, a little talk with each other. We got to gap a little about what has been, because I know he's going to be very emotional, myself too. This has been a road, an awakening experience for us here as Guyanese, who has taken the charge, who has been encouraged by you folks to do something which we've never done before. And so I want to say thank you very much for that. So we're going to be with you this evening, and just take care until then. Be safe on the road. I don't want to hear anything that is going to throw us into a different direction. So thank you very much, dear Joshua Van Seitman down in the studio at the controls there. And until then, this has been your edition of the Wake Up Guyana show. I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Until
VIP Maya diaper, always the right choice. VIP Maya diaper time, 15 hours 1.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
With your news in capsule at this time, I am Joshua Van Slykeman. A pleasant good afternoon to you, and thank you for joining us. The news comes to you with the kind compliments of Amalander Milk. American multinational ExxonMobil has been flaring gas offshore Guyana for almost 8 months due to mechanical issues it experienced with the Eliza Destiny's gas compressor system that is being fixed in Germany. The oil giant had been burning gas while the Partnership for National Unity Alliance for a Change regime was in office since last December, to be exact. Even though it was fully aware of the deadly effects of flaring, the APNU-AFC administration did absolutely nothing about it. Kaieteur Radio was able to ascertain the former coalition awareness of the effects of the flaring by way of Annex A4 of the Green State Development Strategy Vision 2040. This document was developed by the Granger administration. Annex A4 provided analytical evidence to support why the APNU-AFC is or was opposed to flaring. The document states that the negative impacts of gas flaring is well understood by the former government, and as such, Guyana would not undertake routine gas flaring for any excess-associated gas produced from the offshore petroleum fields. The annex goes on to note that the option to release gas into the atmosphere by flaring and venting is an important practice in oil production for safety reasons. It was noted that, however, that such a practice generates a high level of hydrocarbons when oil-to-gas water solutions are flared. It was further noted by the coalition government at the time that the process of burning associate gas has many negative impacts on the environment, including the release of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions. The annex also stated that studies in Nigeria, where gas flaring is not prohibited, demonstrated the links between environmental impacts such as acid rain and other impacts, the report said, included negative health impacts due to pollution. And finally, at this time, since starting in early March in the height of the election standoff, the show, which is hosted by Dr. Gildarie and co-hosted by senior journalist Leonard Gildarie, has been lauded for asking the tough questions with a range of local and international guests, including His Excellency President Irfan Ali. It has garnered one of the biggest social media following. On Wednesday, Dr. Mahathir disclosed that the show has definitely made an impact, but with democracy ensured, with a legitimate government and functioning parliament in place, it is clear that the show has served its purpose. He acknowledged the role of Gildarie and lauded Kaieteur News and Kaieteur Radio for making its studio available. He hinted at being available in the future. According to Managing Director of Kaieteur Radio, Glenn Lal, Dr. Mahathir's contribution to the media in the last 5 months will be remembered when the history books of Guyana are written. He said Yo contributed his time willingly night and day to the radio and people of Guyana. He worked without pay. We are deeply grateful for his work. I wish him all the best. The finale is expected to start at 19 hours 30 tonight on Kaieteur Radio. And making headlines today, controversial NCN Berbice manager Don Matu resigns and interim management to be in place. Exxon spends $168 million to fix flaring at Scottish plant but continues to flout regulations in Guyana. And the former business minister says without proper plan, reopening sugar estates would be throwing away money. And we encourage you to read today's front page comment titled, "If Only We Could Get One Contract Right." Get the details of these stories and much more in today's Kaieteur News by picking up a copy at the newsstand near you or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com. The news came to you with the kind compliments of Amalander Milk.
Milk made with fresh cow's milk from certified dairy farmers with 130 years experience. We produce over 1.3 billion liters annually. We work with quality standards that far exceed statutory requirements. Our milk is not made from milk solids. Amalander, real milk, pure and natural. Available at stores nationwide.
Live with Team MMR. Team MMR. 3 p.m. Monday to Friday on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Nationwide broadcast on Facebook Live. Music.